All right. Hello and welcome to the March Fast. This is going to be exciting. We're doing 3 days together and we're doing nothing but water this time around. So that's going to be interesting. Don't worry. I'm here to guide you through the entire thing. We're going to do it together and I'm going to explain each step of the way what's going to happen and why we're doing it. Like, why would you want to do this? And what are you feeling in your body and what's actually happening? And so tonight I'll just explain to you how to do it, kind of go over a few of the benefits and just basic instructions. And then, of course, you'll start tomorrow. And we will get back on here tomorrow night and I'll teach you a couple more things. And then we'll get back on Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and then we'll be finished. And I will explain how to start the fast, how to end the fast, what to expect during it. Before we get started with anything else, the first thing that I need to say to any of you that do not know me is that I am not a doctor. I do not claim to be a doctor. I'm not anything I tell you. I'm not diagnosing you or curing you or telling you that this is going to make all your problems go away and you're going to win the lottery tomorrow and your whole life is going to change. But there are some things that are well documented that I can tell you about fasting that I can share with you that other people who are doctors have found out, and I will pass that information along. Also, that being said, if you are on medications, you are being monitored by a physician, you need to let them know that you're doing this. Because if you are on any kind of medications that lower your blood sugar or blood pressure, those kinds of things, this process over the next couple of days will also be doing that. So if you're on meds that do that, then you may go too far in the other direction. So you just need to let your doctor know you're doing it and see if there's any trouble with it. Now, people since the beginning of time have been fasting. Okay. It is definitely not new. It's not a fad. It's not something you need to be scared of, but there are things that we need to make sure that we're following so that it's done right. So what does a 72-hour fast do? Number one, some of the things you can expect. Improve your insulin sensitivity, which is a big deal if you are trying to lose weight or worried about type 2 diabetes. Increase mental clarity. I don't know about you, but if you're a woman and you're past the age of 25, 30. I mean, I'm just a little past 25, 30. I'm just a tad. Then you may find yourself getting that like 3 o'clock slump, getting really tired, having some brain fog, walking into a room and not knowing what you came in there for, those kind of things. This can help with that. It will trigger cellular cleanup. So inside your body, you have cells that are dead or not working very well, and they get backed up in your system. When you don't have food for a couple of days, your body doesn't have to focus on digesting the food and what it's going to do with that. And it needs to conserve energy since you're not putting extra in. So it will start to throw things overboard and get rid of old dead stuff. And that's really good for your body. I already talked about it'll reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, reduce inflammation, help with gut health, and rejuvenate your immune system. So those are the reasons that we're doing this. Will you lose weight? Probably. If you're not eating for a couple of days, it would just make sense that if there's nothing going in, then where would there be weight gain? I actually had one of my girlfriends send me a message. She goes, I can't fast. It makes me gain weight. What? You can't gain weight on a fast. You're not eating anything. How are you going to gain something if you're not eating? That's impossible. So I assume she meant maybe intermittent fasting, and then maybe we needed to look at what she was eating in the process. So if you're interested in intermittent fasting after this, I would be glad to walk you through that process. It is very good for you to do regular fasting and to give your body a break from eating all the way around. Okay, so what are we going to be doing? This is pretty simple. The instructions on a fast are very easy. You're not going to eat anything. You're not going to take in any calories for 3 days. That's actually going to start tonight when you go to bed, right? So this can end Wednesday night if you would like, but I do recommend it ending on Thursday morning because we are doing a 72-hour fast. So 3 days is optimal. But okay, but I'm giving you directions, not education. That's hard for me because I like to explain why all the time. But no calories. what that means is anything you go to put past your lips, you need to look at and make sure it has no calories. And you need to think about it because if you're like, if you think, oh, I'm doing a water fast, but I usually put this mix in my water, or I usually add this to my water, or you can have tea and coffee, but they have to be completely plain. So it can be green tea, black tea, whatever tea, but it has to have 0 calories, no additives, no sweeteners, no milk, no cream, nothing. 0 calories, okay?
Is your stevia okay, or is that out too?
I don't know. Let me look. Calories in stevia. Stevia is 0 calorie. Does not contain any calories or carbohydrates. So you are good. So see how easy that was for me to figure out? Like Google how many calories are in it. None. Perfect. Now, when you get into things, now she asked about stevia because she is an expert at this. She's done it with me before. Stevia, monk fruit are sweeteners that do not raise blood sugar. All other fake sweeteners are off the list. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, my like Coke Zero has no calories. I don't even know if there are calories in Coke Zero because I really recommend not doing it. But um the types of fake sweeteners that are in there will still affect your blood sugar. And I've recently seen where they've done some studies that, like Coke Zero, whatever it is that they're sweetening that with, um, also breaks the blood-brain barrier. So it's 0 calorie because it's not broken down by your liver, but now they're finding out that it can actually get into your brain for metabolism. You don't want that. So you don't want anything to go through the blood-brain barrier unless it's meant to. And I don't want those sweeteners in my brain. So I really recommend not doing that. I know that your diet sodas and all that may be calorie free and a lot of the zero drinks on the market. No good unless it is only sweetened with stevia and nothing else. And those are almost impossible to find. I think I know of one, and I think it still had an ingredient in it that I was like, forget it. So if you have a question though, send it to me before you eat it. If you are on medications that require that you have to eat, it's really important. Call your doctor and find out if they're fat soluble medications, fat soluble vitamins or supplements. They require that you're eating fat for whatever it is to be delivered and get into your system the way that you need them to. You may have to add a small bit of food every morning. Now, that is going to make your fast very much more difficult because anything that you eat when you're fasting, if you take in any calories, it automatically turns back on all of your food processing. And now your body's like, ooh, hungry, 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 give me more. Because here's the good news. When you're fasting, you're not going to be what I would call hungry at first. Because, well, let me do this breakdown real quick. Let me see if I have it up here. I think I had meant to share this with you anyway. Okay. So initially, when you start to fast, excuse me, your body will use stored glucose, glycogen is actually what it's called, from carbohydrates for energy. So however much of that you have stored, it will use for energy. That's going to happen tonight while you're sleeping, a little bit into your morning, probably up until about lunchtime tomorrow. You're going to be able to use some of the glucose that you have stored in your body. Then what's going to happen after around 12 to 16 hours, so about lunchtime tomorrow, your glycogen stores are going to be depleted and you're going to start using fat for fuel. Your body's going to start turning other things that it has stored into an energy source for your body. You're not going to do that real efficiently in 3 days. It would be better for you to get into fat burning over a long period of time before fasting. And you can do that with like a ketogenic diet, a carnivore diet, or my diet program will get you into where you're burning ketones or burning fat for fuel rather than sugar, and your fast will be a lot more effective. But your body will naturally shift into ketosis no matter what you've been eating after 16 to 24 hours. Now, ketone production. As your body burns fat, it produces ketones, which can be used as an alternative fuel source. And then lastly, during the fast, your body may also activate autophagy, a process where cells remove damaged components and regenerate healthier ones. I'll give you a better timeline on that tomorrow because I had it up, but I lost it in all of my other. Oh, here it is. Anabolic phase, 0 to 4 hours after the last meal. This is the period immediately following after you finish eating where your body is focused on digesting and storing nutrients. Insulin levels are high, promoting uptake of glucose and amino acids into cells. We're not going to be doing that over the next couple days. Catabolic phase, 4 to 16 hours after last meal. Glycogen stores begin to deplete. Your body starts breaking down stored fat for energy. Insulin levels start to decline. This is so important, even if you're not worried about diabetes, which is where we only know insulin from that, right? Or we might hear insulin resistance sometimes. Most of the time, I do believe if you're overweight, you're probably insulin resistant. Like there's a lot of glucose in your body, a lot of stuff running around in there. And the more insulin that you have to pump out to take care of it, the less sensitive your body is to using it. So we want to signal the body to switch to fat as its primary fuel source and reduce that insulin sensitivity. Fat burning and ketosis, 16 to 24 hours and beyond. After 16 to 24 hours, your body enters a state of ketosis where it primarily uses fat for fuel. Awesome. I want to use the fat on my body for fuel, right? But here's the problem. That process is so delicate. You put in any calories, any kind of sugar, carbohydrate, anything, it stops immediately. And you go right into digestion, storing glucose, craving, wanting to burn glucose. So don't do that. Ketones produced from the breakdown of fat become primary energy source for the brain and other organs. This is where, little side note, a lot of people will tell you that if you fast or if you intermittent fast, you will go into starvation mode and your body will starve and it'll just start soaking up anything that it gets and you're going to gain weight. Actually, what happens when your body gets switched over to using ketones as its fuel source, your brain runs more efficiently on them. That's why I'm telling you that this clarity, you'll have more mental clarity over the next couple of days as we do this. And you run really well off of ketones. It gives you more energy that your body can use more efficiently and is a ready source, meaning it's not external. I don't have to go eat something sugary or full of carbohydrates to get energy. Now my body is using what's inside to get energy. And fun fact, we're designed to not have food all the time. Before, let's just say 100 years ago, it's been more recent than that, but let's just say we go back 100 years. We didn't have food in front of us all the time. We couldn't go to the refrigerator and grab something to eat. We couldn't go down to the store and just get something, right? We had to go find food. There were longer periods of time between eating foods, especially high caloric foods like we have available 24 hours a day now. So our body is designed that when we don't have food, it gives us more energy to go find the food. It doesn't make sense that your body would shut down when you aren't feeding it. It actually makes sense that it ramps up, and that's exactly what happens. But we have to wait for your body to get good at using that fuel source as its main before you really feel a lot of energy or want to do any kind of working out. And then autophagy and immune cell rejuvenation, 24 to 72 hours and beyond. This is why we do 72 hours. You can do 7 to 40 days. Like you do not need food. I know it sounds insane, but you don't need food. Your body can create. Now, do you need supplements? Do you need minerals? Do you need things like that? Absolutely. And you can get those without calories. But the reason we do 72 hours, during longer fasts, the body may initiate autophagy, a process where it cleans out damaged cells and tissues. This is going to be so helpful for whatever goals you have after this. Some studies suggest that prolonged fasting can also lead to a reset of the immune system, promoting the production of new immune cells. Anybody who has autoimmune disorders in their family should listen up. And they're finding out that things like Alzheimer's, they're actually calling Alzheimer's diabetes 3. like we have the one and type 1, type 2, they're calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes. So these autoimmune diseases are very serious and we know that they're coming from our food sources. We just haven't nailed down exactly why that's happening. I have my theories. I'll tell them to you if you call me later, but we know that fasting helps with those things. Forbes suggests that a prolonged fast for 2 to 3 days or longer may induce your body to clean out some old immune cells and switch on production of new ones. So that is a basic, like round kind of top view reasoning of why, like view of why we're doing this, because it can really help you to reset things, clean your body out, and get things working more efficiently. Less sensitivity to insulin, your brain working better, your immune system working better, and you just need to clean out. You got to give your body a break every once in a while. Now, here's what you also have to do. Your body cannot survive without water, and it's going to need a lot of water while you're fasting. And you also need to add some salt to that water because if you don't add salt to your water, your body doesn't absorb it as well. Okay. And we need your body to be able to absorb this water into the cell and be able to use it efficiently. If you just fast and drink regular water, it's going to go right through you. You're just going to be peeing and peeing and peeing and peeing and peeing, which you're probably going to do anyways. But we want you to hold on to as much of that inside where we need it as possible. So I'm going to recommend that you drink about a gallon of water a day. I want you to measure it. And in that gallon of water, I want a tablespoon of sea salt, either pink Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, Baja Gold salt, but not table salt. Okay, iodinized table salt is not what we're talking about here. That is not mineralized in the way that you need. It's the other salts that I just said, those are natural forms of electrolytes, what your body uses to keep the signals inside it going. And that's what you need to add into your water for it to be the most effective. It's kind of like making your own Gatorade, but it's not going to taste great. It's not going to taste like Gatorade, okay? It's also not going to taste salty. You'll be surprised that will just soak right up into that water, but it is needed for your body. So drink all of your water. Here's what else you're not going to do. I don't want you fasting from your caffeine because that's going to make this awful. More than likely, one of the side effects that you're going to have on day one is a headache towards the end of the day. I get a migraine every time that I come off of sugar. If I get sugar back into my diet and I have to take it away, I get a headache. No matter what I do, I get a migraine and it sets me down for an evening when I'm cleaning it out of my system. That may happen to you. You may find a couple of different side effects as far maybe diarrhea, maybe constipation, maybe dizziness, possible like crankiness because you're not eating foods. You can get like all kinds of things. Like there's the headache, the flu-like symptoms while your body is detoxing all of the stuff out that you've been putting in it. You can get flu-like symptoms. Just keep going. I mean, of course, if you feel like it's actually hurting you, then I don't want you to keep going. But most likely, you're just going to have the normal side effects and you'll be okay, especially if you keep the water in there and you keep your coffee or your tea at the same level that you normally do. Just don't put all the junk in it, right? You're just going to have to drink it black or plain. If you drink sweet tea all day, I need you drinking unsweet tea all day. Okay, just as much as you would have the other way around. If you're used to drinking sodas all day, I can't help you with that one. You're going to have to drink coffee or tea to get that caffeine, or possibly take Excedrin, migraine that has caffeine in it, so that you're not adding calories. Look at your vitamins. Your vitamins probably have calories. I don't want you to take them for a couple days. Okay. Just look at all your stuff. If it has a calorie in it, don't take it. Talk to your doctor about medications. You can also text me and ask about different things. If it's a medication, I'm probably going to point you to your doctor unless I already know. or there's some reason that I would know, but I'm most likely going to tell you to tell your doctor, but try me first. Um, what else do I need to tell you? Blah, blah, blah. Side effects, stay hydrated, take your meds, continue caffeine. Oh, I'm going to give you very specific instructions on how to stop fasting. It's just as important that you stop it well as it is that you do it well throughout. Also, if you have a mistake or something happens, please don't just throw your hands up in the air and run away. Call me, message me, let's work on it together. But it's pretty simple. Like people say, like diets are hard and stuff, but you're not eating at all. So there's no decisions to make. It's just a constant decision of like, okay, I'm not putting any calories in for the next couple of days. What will happen tomorrow? You'll wake up out of habit, you'll go to your kitchen and you're going to think, oh, wait, I'm not eating today, right? So then you get your black cup of coffee or your black cup of tea. I want you to fill up your water, put your salt in it, start sucking that down, right? However much of that you need. Then probably around lunchtime, you're going to be like, oh man, I really feel like I need a meal. Like I'm so used to eating by now, I'm getting kind of hungry. You're going to start craving things. By the time dinner comes around, it may have actually subsided because if you just don't give your body anything, then you don't tend to be as hungry. But normally for me, right before bed, I'm like, okay, I feel like I need something to eat. Like I really want something to eat. So I have to just go to bed. And anytime that I feel like I really need something to eat, I do drink a lot of water and a little bit of my tea. I have some tea that's uncaffeinated, so that helps because I'm just putting something in there. And then the next morning when you wake up, probably won't be hungry. But that second day is when it really starts, like my belly starts going, "Roar, roar, roar." Like, where's the food? I need food. And then by day three, you're kind of over it, and then it's time to be done, right? So you'll have a few periods in there where you're like, man, I really want something to eat, that you'll have to recommit and make the decision to not put food in. But you might be surprised when your body sends those signals of like, we need to eat, we need to eat, we need to eat. If you really push away from them and just be like, no, we made a decision, we're not eating for a couple of days, find yourself something to get busy doing, have some water or tea, it'll go away. Like your body will give up on that and start hopefully burning fat for you and doing the other things that it needs to do. Last thing. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about your liver and what your liver's doing and why is this such a great thing? I don't want you to work out over the next couple of days. If you're doing any kind of weight training, you need to feed your muscles. I don't want your body turning to its muscles and breaking them down because you've overexerted yourself, which can happen when you're not eating. It's called gluconeogenesis. It is a natural thing that your body does. It does it all the time. But when you're fasting, if you really push your body, it will find the energy inside itself to survive. So it will break down muscle mass and things like that. Not in a massive amount, but we just don't want that to happen, okay? And you're going to get way hungrier. So if you're used to getting up and going for a run in the morning, don't do it. If you wanted to go for a bike or a long hike, probably shouldn't do it. Like, let's keep those things off for a couple of days. And then you can go right back to it on Thursday. Absolutely no reason not to. You can do light walking, you can do, those kinds of your daily routine, your normal stuff. But as far as like weight training, running, cardio, even hot yoga might not be a great idea. That's burning a lot of calories and stuff. That's not good when you're not putting anything in. Okay. You should notice an energy increase. Tomorrow, I'll explain to you what your liver's doing and why it's good for you. Make sure you drink the water. I don't care if you have to set an alarm on your phone to tell yourself. Also, stay in contact. You two, Tina and Mel, on the call right now, you have each other, right? Anybody else that's listening to this, you have me or a friend that you're doing it with, and we're available. Like, I can jump on almost any time and say, hey, I'm not working over the next couple of days on purpose because I just didn't want to work at the restaurant while I'm fasting. So I won't be doing that. It's really hard to serve people steaks all night long when you're not eating. I just wanted to spare myself that. So I'm not working the next couple of days. I'm here for you, wide open. If you have friends that you think want to do this, I'm sending the recording of this video out. Send it to them, get them signed up. They can start even if they start late. And we can hopefully get a bit of a movement going on this because it's really good for you. And a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about it, which I hope to teach you about over the next couple of days. Last thing, I don't want you to eat for the next couple of days, but if you do, if something happens and you do, I still want you to come back. I need you to get the information in the evenings. It's still better to have one meal a day than it is to have three and to give your body that break. But I can walk you through anything that happens. The only thing I can't help you with is if you disappear. Well, then I've got nothing for you. So come get the information, be part of this fun, and let's get healthier together in the next couple of days. Sound good? Okay. Anything I didn't cover that you guys have questions about?
Um, Seltzer water. We can drink that, yes.
Yes.
Like
As long as it
carbon.
has no calories in it, be careful because a lot of them have like weird sweeteners or inulin or weird things like that. But if it's just plain old seltzer water, it's fine.
Okay.
Especially if you like bubbles. I'm not a bubbles person. I
No.
think that's why giving up soda is easy for me. I don't like carbonation. I don't know why. I just don't like it. But all right, anything else? Well, if you didn't know, you're absolutely amazing and I love you. And I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. And you got this. Mwah!
Thank you, Amber.
Bye, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.